I remember the first time I got a greenhouse, and the first thing I did was think, oh, I'm going to grow tomatoes. And I think everybody's like that. The first thing you do when you get a greenhouse is you think about tomatoes, don't you? And then other things come, like jalapenos or butternut squash or whatever. The things that you grow in a greenhouse. And here in Scotland, I mean, for tomatoes especially, and the other ones that I've mentioned, a greenhouse is probably the best option. But what if you've not got a greenhouse? What can you do? Well, I started thinking about that this year. I started thinking, you know, what is it that tomatoes need? You know, they need a lot of, they need fertile soil, they need good compost, and they need warmth. And what if you can provide those without doing a greenhouse? So let me show you what I've done. Once upon a time, you can see the silhouette there, can't you? That's the dead giveaway. But once upon a time, these allotments used to get serious issues with rabbits coming in. So people had this solution of getting corrugated sheeting like this and burying it along their boundaries, you know, 6 inches down, so as the rabbits couldn't burrow underneath, etc. Or it made it more difficult for them to do that anyway. And this one, by coincidence, the sun basically rises over there and sets over there. It's on its way towards setting just now. And at the height of summer, this is basically south facing. And with us being in the northern hemisphere, all that's happening all day is this corrugated iron here is getting the sun and it's heating up. And at sometimes during the summer, you can barely touch it, it's so hot. So I thought, I had lots of spare tomatoes left. This is like a little sort of heat block, you know, it'll radiate heat out. So would tomatoes grow here, outdoors, in Scotland? And the answer to that question is yes, with some caveats though. That there that you see, that's late blight. You see it's settling in on the leaves now. It's on some of these other plants as well. You can see it on the stems. Maybe not that one. That one's actually quite healthy. The tomatoes are quite healthy there. But these are starting to ripen. You can see the colours changing on them now. So, and it's a good crop of tomatoes. It's not like it's a bad crop. I mean, we've got a lot of them here. We've got a couple here that have got end rot that can get taken off. That's not healthy looking, but this plant, as I say, has got a little bit of blight. So this one might not make it. In fact, this tomato, a couple of these tomatoes are rotten. But these ones here are perfectly healthy. And to be honest, I'd actually forgotten about these. So if I'd been paying attention to them, they would maybe have been a little bit healthier. And if I'd shaded this area here a little bit to stop the rain coming in, maybe the blight wouldn't have affected them as badly as it has. So there you go. If you don't have a greenhouse, get yourself a sheet of metal, stick it in a pot, stick your tomato in the pot or in the ground behind the sheet of metal if you've got a big enough one like this. Make sure it's south facing, it's getting the sun all day, and who knows, it may heat up your soil enough, it may heat up the air just in this area enough with the radiated heat from the thing to keep your tomatoes going.